All right, guys, well, it's the start of stripping season, so this is when I really make a lot of money for the farm. So, obviously we got fertilizer going into the hoppers. Yeah, so we started out the day with the cutting torch, some JB weld, the hammer and chisels. So we had to pull these gears, torch these bearings out, put a new Zerk on, new bearings, and then this sensor got broke. So I JB welded him up. I got 2 sensors coming just to have a spare on hand. But it looks like the JB weld is going to hold, and or at least we'll run it as long as it can. The birds, well, they got to just come with us, and so we'll whoop, my gate, I closed my gate down a little bit. You want to keep your auger full down here so you don't churn the fertilizer and turn it into dust. I need a new auger. I'd like to get a poly cup auger. That steel auger is pretty much on its last leg. And so yeah, the strip till bar, we ran the bar where the beans behind the barn. We got the beans in behind the barn. We ran just the bar with no fertilizer because, well, that field's got so much NP and K in it with the cows. Look at this bolt. That bolt is coming out. We should see, he touches here. I should turn that guy in. That's crazy. I really like this bar, but a lot of hardware for whatever reason comes loose, and I don't always get that. Like right here, look at that guy. We'll have to pound him back over. Yeah, you really gotta keep an eye. It's missing the bolt that holds that guy in place, and so yeah, just got to keep an eye on these row units for little things like that. Otherwise the bar does an okay job. I'd like to build a conditioner system. What I'd really like is another set of blades back here that lift the soil up again and crumble it and make a high berm. But to dream. We better get up there and check that. So the guys before me did a nice job and made this catch rack, and it catches all these little clumps that would normally plug up that boot on the shank. Your plumbing, you know, you got a 4-inch pipe, 2-inch plumbing, that's not the problem. It's on the back of the shank is where it plugs up. It really necks down. And so, yeah, that works out pretty slick. It's amazing, the elevator or the local mill that we buy fertilizer from, or anybody that we've ever bought fertilizer from. It's funny sometimes how many nuts and bolts and pieces of wire and a broken shovel handle or whatever shows up in the fertilizer. Well, we're stripping. This is one of them fields that tillage with a purpose. It was super rough. So we worked it shallow. That worked great. Here's just a little draw. That worked great. The field's pretty nice actually compared to what it was. So I'm happy with that. I'm not happy that there's this much dust out here. But everything's going good, and I can't complain. Everything's going good. It took me most of the day to clean out hoses and just, you know, maintenance on the system. Your first run of the year always has, you know, you always got to get the bugs out. But yeah, it's going good. There's a tree. So since water doesn't move on the farm like it used to, We're starting to fill in ditches. Problem is, this ditch is all that little buckthorn and box elder trees and stuff like that that we didn't till enough to get rid of them. But we're starting to fill in some ditches and get these ditches filled in and start farming through them. Clean up the field, make one, we got one nice pass instead of all them extra headlands, so that's going to be a dream come true. You can see something plugged on that pass. Oh, that sod coming through the ditch, them chunks of sod. So I go slow, and so that I can see it afterwards. Then we just hit resume, and away we go. Massey, without the loader on here, it feels like I'm in a go-kart. Tomorrow I'll have to hang my suitcase weights up front. Without the loader, that loader is a lot of weight. The 4430 could barely lift the loader frame and the mounts off of my black pickup. And so that's a lot of weight. But so the tractor itself is pretty nose heavy. You know, you got close to 15,000 pounds in that toolbar, plus you got a cart back there that's pulling on the back of that 3-point mounted implement. And so if I can throw 1,000 pounds, I don't remember what I have. Yeah, if I get 1,000 pounds or so up front, that'll help quite a bit. Bring that front down just a whisker. It's a non-issue going down the field. I'm going every other pass, so it's a non-issue. Other than the headlands, my front wheels kind of slide a little bit, and so. But yeah, I like that every other pass thing. That works nice, because when you come in the headland, you just make more of a sweeping radius, you know, from that pass whoop, to this pass, and kind of keep going versus come to a hard crawl to make the light bulb. Talking about that ditch, goofy. Look at that sucker. We're gonna have to go the other way. Come on, you. Holy crap. Look at the size of that sucker down here. Ugh, man. We'll put that on our collection, where we find steel and miscellaneous stuff in fields. It's I don't have it in the ground. Yeah, but it looks, we're a million times better than last year. Last year it was a lot more cloddy like this, not nice like this. Look at it. We're actually starting to build some soil aggregation. There's worms there. We're actually starting to do something with the soil, but you know, what kind of seed bed is that? You just, like a miniature backhoe, I can just, what crop, look at it, actually building soil structure. What crop isn't gonna thrive in a seed bed like that? You go over to your tillage seed bed, there's another buddy of mine. This field's actually starting to become something. Holy cow. I like it. And so last year what happened is I got way too ahead of myself on stripping all fields, so these chunks got bone dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this field stripped tonight and tomorrow morning, And by tomorrow night, I want to start planting while these strips are damp, and it makes a beautiful, beautiful seed bed. Last pass for the night, and yeah, I got the cobwebs out on the first 25 acres, and the last almost 15, 16 acres have just been a complete breeze. So we got all of that done. Let me go to full screen. So we got all of that done. So that first light green was the calibration load. So the dark green is where I adjusted my calibration, but I adjusted the rate instead of adjusting the calibration factor. Let's see, I don't know if I can go in here while we're yeah, I can't go in there while. So instead of the conveyor rate here, instead of dinking around with that number, I just changed my rate. So I'm not putting down 460 pounds. I'm actually putting down 310 pounds. But it was off that far. And so kind of weird, but it is what it is, you know. You do a static calibration on the ground, and normally them are pretty dang close. I took for granted that last year's were close, and apparently they were not. Calibrate every year. That's what I did for everybody else, but I skipped it for myself. Way to go, genius. Way to go. But yeah, other than that, everything's working good. Cruising right along. So I don't know what I got left on this field. Productivity, we're doing 20 acres an hour, average speed of 5.4, and I got 16 acres left. So, but it's 16 acres of headland. So we got a half an acre corner. You got a little headland here. We got this little jog up here. Then you got that headland there. Then you got this long headland over here. And so, yeah, all right. Not very exciting. Sorry. I'm not good at these day-to-day videos. My passion is talking to you guys about soil and nutrient management and cattle and things like that. And so I'll leave you go. This is our first day of strip tilling. I'll catch you tomorrow when we start planting. Well, that seems to be going the wrong way. There was that auger got plugged up down there. It bridged. The fertilizer somehow bridged over that auger, and I can't get any fertilizer out the auger. So we empty the hopper, and then we'll investigate and fill it back up and get going. I got the 60 done here, so we'll do this little piece. What we're going to do is we're going to hold off on trying to get into that sod this year. We'll just turn that into alfalfa. So I'll bring my corn headland up 50 feet so we have room to work down there. So this will end up being like a 15 acre or 16 acre. Let's get this whipped in quick as soon as we get this figured out. And then we'll take the wagon to West Rock and start stripping over there. Well, there's our little auger. I got it slowed just way down to like 20 pounds to the acre kind of rate. So I think it was just some material, like a clump of fines or dust just kind of bridged over that. But whatever, let's get her filled back up and get going. This is why I'll never need tile, and I'll never have to do tillage to quote unquote warm and dry the soil. Every crumb that you see on top of the soil is worm castings, and worm castings are very, very high in nutrients, and every hole is water and oxygen getting into my soil. Cracks, we're still dealing with high mag. I'm trying to improve it. That's why I carry calcium in the strip till bar, and we're getting better. I'm trying to find more calcium products to keep softening this soil to get rid of this shrinking and tightening of the soil. I'll get there, but we're off to a good start. Got over here and got a pretty good start to this field. It's going to be raining, so I'm just trying to run out I didn't order fertilizer. I'm just trying to run out what I got, and then tomorrow we'll get caught up with planting to what we've got strip tilled, and then we'll get going on strip till again. I've got to there's roots. You can see some roots hanging. I went through, I got next to a tree line, and that sucks. That concludes this strip till video. I did not beat the rain. We're only probably, it goes between 0.5 inch. It's still too risky to leave the wagon out there, and so close but so far. So guys, adios. We'll see you in the next video.